Good evening, everyone. Peace and blessings to you. So glad to have you join me this evening. Welcome to the Season for Nonviolence. My name is Reverend Lee Alvarado. I'm with New Thought Northern Colorado Center for Spiritual Living. So every day we come together for a total of 64 days to practice a new principle of peace and nonviolence based on the work of Mahatma Gandhi and Martin Luther King. Today is day 49, and our topic is our interdependence with all. Gandhi said, interdependence is and ought to be as much the ideal for humanity as self-sufficiency. All of life is by nature of its oneness is truly interdependent. Physicist David Bohm refers to this as the implicate order of the universe, because all energy and matter in the universe arose from one single action, the Big Bang, he says. There is an unbroken wholeness of the totality of existence as an undivided flowing movement without borders. In other words, whatever value or moral test we may put it to, the underlying truth is that we are interdependent. Chaos theory is built upon this model. It simply says that because everything is interdependent, it makes the universe so complex we cannot fully understand anything, nor the unintended consequences of any act. Thus, as the most famous example in chaos theory suggests, a butterfly flapping its wings in Brazil can cause a typhoon in China. As humans, we strive for self-sufficiency, particularly in the American culture. Americans are considered an individualistic society, which means we prioritize the individual over the group. Whereas in Asia, South America, and parts of Europe, they're considered collectivistic, which means they emphasize the needs and goals of the group as a whole over the needs and desires of each individual. Independence is important, but at what cost? Seeking self-sufficiency and independence without considering interdependence will always become selfish, for it ignores all needs but our own. Selfishness is always by nature violent. Thus, when we do whatever it is we are called to do, we must understand that no action ever occurs in a vacuum. Our actions have consequences far beyond we can expect or intend. They're affecting every other life on this planet in ways we can't even anticipate. In addition, the acts of every other person also affect us in the same way. The truest path to nonviolence in any society is the recognition and practice of seeking self-sufficiency and independence together with complete interdependence, recognizing that we need each other. What we do to the whole impacts the individual, and what we do as an individual impacts the whole. We are all related, all connected, all one human family. So my first question for you today. Good evening, Dennis. Good evening, all. The first question is, when I can see my actions negatively affecting others, am I willing to ask the question, is there another way, a more loving way to act? Sometimes when we're in those moments and we engage with someone in a negative way, we're not always present enough to ask that question. So perhaps it's those moments when we're upset with someone, when we're angry with someone in our life, and our ego wants to let them have it. Our ego wants to say something, send that angry text, or give them a phone call, or whatever it may be, and tell them how we feel. And it doesn't always come out in the best way. But if we can take a step back and ask the question, is there a way to have this conversation in a loving way? Is there a way where I can act in a loving way, where I can speak, where I can communicate in a loving way. What a different world this would be if we all took a breath, took a step back, and asked that question. The next question is, what actions am I willing to take as an individual that can support the whole? We really do have such responsibility as beings on this planet, because what we do does impact the whole. It doesn't just affect our life or the lives of those around us, but because we are all connected, because we are all one, what we do right here in our lives impacts the one mind. It impacts every person, our thoughts, our actions, our behaviors. And so what actions are you willing to take to support the whole right now? What are you willing to do? And if you'd like to share that in the chat, I'd love to see that. As you reflect on this for yourself, for your life, what would you like to contribute to the whole? What would you like to offer from your heart? What thoughts, what actions would you like to take right now that would impact the whole in a loving and beautiful way? We're always at choice. We're always at choice with this. And sometimes we have to just take a breath and pause and reflect. What's the most important thing that I would like to offer right now to humanity? Given all that has happened in this last week, the lives that were taken in Atlanta, the hate crimes that have also happened this week and have been taking place since the beginning of the pandemic towards Asians, Asian Americans, Pacific Islanders. What actions are we willing to take right now to support all, particularly those who are suffering, those who are having a difficult time? And so our affirmative practice today, be patient. Yes. Be patient. Patience is a good one. That is a good one. Yeah. And when I think of patience, I also think of slowing down. I think of trust, having faith that everything is unfolding for the highest and best good of all. Act with love. Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. So here's our affirmative practice for today. I will meditate on my interdependence with all life. Today, as I seek all I need to sustain myself, I will watch for how my actions affect others. For I know that what I do to myself, I do to all. This is the path of nonviolence. So let's just take a moment to go within, dropping into our heart with our breath. Meditating on this idea of interdependence. That what we do as individuals affects the whole. That truly we are all connected. We can never be separated, as much as we may want to at times. Particularly with those who have caused harm in this world, who have deliberately caused others harm. We desire to separate ourselves from them. But in truth, we cannot. We all came from the same source. We all came from that beautiful divinity that is God. And therefore, we are all connected. We are all interdependent. We are all part of one human family. And so let's just take a moment to contemplate this. A few moments of silence. So gently coming back, taking a deep breath, feeling in your heart that connection of all, the connection that we all share. And may this feeling in your heart carry you through this evening, blessing you until tomorrow. Tomorrow we come together again. It'll be day 50, and we'll be talking about the friend that is within us. Have a blessed evening. Look forward to being with you again tomorrow. Namaste.